I was trying to do a non-mayonnaise version of this sauce, but it's like an apple. Anyways, okay. Hello, everyone. I am doing meal prep today. It's meal prep Sunday here in the Smith household. So I'm making, what is this, like a bang bang chicken bowl. And instead of mayonnaise, I'm cutting up an avocado, and this thing is ripe. Or rather, not as ripe as I'd like it to be. Oh, let me know in the comments. Do you like really firm avocados or softer avocados? I would, and this is why we have the avocado knife, by the way, so we don't get avocado hand in the ER. That's the thing, apparently. All right, so one of the things, actually, I'm going to talk about three things that we need to be doing if we really want to actually make a difference here in our physiques and in our health going through perimenopause and menopause. Now, one of the things that I talk about a lot is, I'm trying to get this thing out of here. This is this is not ideal. But I just bought this avocado today. You know how avocados are. You should buy them like a little bit in advance so they finally get to like the right ripeness. So this is going to be kind of fun. So a lot of women that I talk to say, oh, I think I'm eating enough protein. Yeah, I eat a lot of fiber. Mm-hmm. No, I need to see the receipts. Okay. So I need to see your log. You need to be tracking it and actually seeing how much protein and fiber you're getting. For most women, I am telling them to start at like 120 grams a day. There are so many women who are barely getting that much. I'm not even able to use this part, I don't think. Yeah, that's going to break it. Because you got to measure it in grams. You got to measure it accurately. There's a difference between raw protein and cooked protein, ounces, so don't log just like raw chicken when you're eating cooked chicken. It's not going to be the same. You lose about 25% of volume when you do that. I was trying to do a non-mayonnaise version of this sauce, but it's like an apple. Anyways, okay. I'm going to stir my chicken now. So I've got the chicken cooking over here, and so I've got 3 pounds. This is for me and my husband for this week. Actually, I've got chicken breast or thighs out on the Traeger right now for him. He doesn't like chicken breast as much as I do, and I don't prefer the thighs. So any of you who live with other human beings and have to cook for more than yourself, you understand my pain. It's so much easier when you don't have to cook for anybody else. But that's usually not the way of things. So making sure you're actually measuring your protein out. It's looking pretty done here. You don't want to overdo the chicken breast because then it gets really dry. Because it's so lean, which is good and bad, right? All right, so that looks pretty done. Got off the heat. We've got some rice that's already done there. I just got to work on my sauce. I don't know what I'm going to do with this avocado, guys. I'm supposed to put some little bit of this Thai sweet chili sauce in with mayonnaise, or I was going to switch it to avocado, but I could just eat this like I said, like an apple. So actually checking your protein intake by tracking it is really important because otherwise you don't actually know how much you're getting. So what I recommend is that you take 3 days and just track your intake and see how much you're actually getting in, because it's probably a lot less than you think, especially for women. So many women think, oh, I eat so much protein. And then when they track it, they're like barely cracking 80 grams of protein a day. That is bare bones to keep you alive. It is not going to help you to build muscle and retain it and your energy levels and your sex hormones. And like, it's so integral to everything. It's amino acids. It's everything in your body. It's the building blocks. Super, super important. Also helps with satiety. So the more protein you're eating, the more you'll feel satiated, meaning after a meal, you feel like, I ate, I'm okay. So it gives that signal to your body that you're eating enough. The other thing that women are not tracking and think they're getting enough is fiber. I am guilty of this too, guys. It's hard to get enough fiber. The American Heart Association increased their recommendations. It used to be like 25 grams. Now it's more like 30 to 35 grams of protein a day. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite fiber supplements. So if you suffer from constipation, psyllium husk is a really good one to incorporate because that is going to pull water into the GI tract and make it easier to go, basically. It's also really good for cholesterol levels and things like that. This one, though, is the one that I use. I don't have issues with constipation, so I use Thorne's Fibermend, this guy. And you can start with things like half a scoop or a quarter of a scoop if you're really not eating a lot. And this is, again, why I recommend you track first to see where you're actually at before going straight out the gate and trying to like put all that fiber into your body. Because if you eat too much, put in too much, it's not going to feel good. You're going to have problems. So, but that's something that's really good. I like to, you just mix it into like yogurt. So I have my little yogurt cup. That's a good little snack along with my protein powder because if I did Greek yogurt, then I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I am dairy free because that doesn't agree with me. So I have to find alternatives. So I use like coconut yogurt or something like that and then mix in my protein powder. So make sure you get in protein and then add my fiber supplement and do things like that. So those are the two things right there. And again, I need to see receipts, girls. Like we can't just be saying that we think we're eating enough. You're probably not. We've done so many diet studies, so many, just any of them, you can go look it up. People grossly underestimate how much they're eating overall as far as like calories are concerned and grossly overestimate how much protein and fiber they're actually getting. So track it. It doesn't mean you have to track it forever, but this is power. This is information. It's like if you never look at your bank account, how do you expect to know what the heck is going on? And I'm not talking about scale weight because that's a trigger point for a lot of people. If that is, then stay away from that. And it's just one piece of the puzzle. So we need to remember that these are just measurements. They're just data points. It has nothing to do with your worthiness or how good you are or how good you're doing. Girl, you're doing awesome. Right now, right here, as you are, you're doing awesome. You really are. You're listening to this. So you want to learn more. And that's huge. You're doing enough. You really are. So these are things that you can incorporate, though, to make sure you get to that next level. The very last thing I would say is that it's kind of a two-pronged thing. You are pushing yourself too hard in your life in general, and you're not pushing yourself hard enough when it comes to the gym. Let me explain. We put so much on our plates. I know I am guilty of this as well. Like we overload our plates. We think we need to do more and more and more. And the truth is we actually need to be doing less. We need to be taking more downtime, especially in midlife, because our bodies are going through such a huge change and we're just not as resilient to that stress as we used to be. It's normal. It's part of it and it's okay. Like our bodies need something different. We need to listen to that. The other part of that is not pushing hard enough in the gym. Now, I'm not talking about a bunch of cardio. I'm not talking about HIIT. I'm not talking about any of that crap. Those are fine to incorporate to a certain degree. Again, we need to really watch out because a lot of us are suffering from like adrenal fatigue, which I know is not the true medical term for it, but you have chronic stress and that HPA axis is being affected. Everything is being like down-regulated because you've been in stress for so long that it's starting to affect things like your thyroid. It's affecting your cortisol output. It's affecting your sex hormones. It's affecting your gut health. Girls, so many people with IBS, that is 100%, but 95% from your emotional state and how you're reacting to stress. So taking a step back, going, okay, what do I actually need? Like what internally, if no one would be mad at me, if nothing fell apart, if nothing bad would happen, what do I need right now? Maybe you need a nap. That's okay. Go take a freaking nap. You have full permission. Maybe you need to go for a walk. That's okay too. But when it comes to strength training in the gym, that is where we need to be picking up heavier weights, ladies. None of these 5 dumbbell BS, none of this, oh, I'm going to lift, 2 pounds for 50 billion reps. I love you, Pilates. I do. I think there's a place, but that's not the only thing we should be doing. We absolutely need to incorporate progressive overload strength training in some type of a setting that you can do that in. I use buckets out in the yard, okay? Like, you don't have to be inside a gym. You don't, but it makes it a lot easier. There's a reason why, dumbbells and barbells and things like that are so common, and they're so easy because we can measure them, we can add more weight to it. This is a reason why we're using it. So just twice a week. It doesn't have to be the only thing you do. You can still do your Pilates. You can still go for your runs. You can still do your walking. You can still do your CrossFit. CrossFit's great, actually, because it actually does incorporate some weights, so long as you're doing that safely, right? Which, depending on which gym, some gyms are great, others not so much. So, more supervision and education there. But it's so important that we are lifting heavy weights, and we're increasing those over time. That's not to say you're going to be able to increase every week, week after week. If you're really new, yeah, you probably will be able to. Those who have been training for longer, maybe not so much. And those who are still cycling, you might notice towards the end of the month for you, when you're getting closer to your period, you just don't have the endurance you did before. You maybe not have the strength or the recovery. Again, that goes back to listening to your body. So pull back, do like 80% of your volume, take longer rest breaks if you need it. You shouldn't be gasping for air when you go to do the next set. That's really not as beneficial unless that's like specifically what you're going for a particular reason. But in general, for general health and wellness and building muscle, that's not necessary. And it can actually be detrimental, especially if you're so fatigued that your form starts to fall apart. So those are the 3 things that will really improve your physique, your hormones, your body composition, your health, your bone density as you age, ladies. Track that protein, track it, okay? Show me the receipts, track that fiber, and push yourself in the gym when you're doing your strength training. Get to that next level, even if it's just 2.5 pounds more, like 1% better every time, right? That's all we're going for. All right, I gotta go check the meat on the Traeger because I bet it's done by now. And I'm gonna get back to meal prep. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Let me know in the comments what you guys are meal prepping for the week. I'm curious to see, or if you need ideas, let me know, and I'd be happy to give you some ideas of hormone healthy, high fiber, high protein meals that you can use for your week. All right, bye.